welcome back to another Spin Weekly, and this week we're doing a Monet Batt. These are my two bats, and I have to say they're not exactly my favorite colorway or necessarily my favorite texture. They're a holdover from my really early days of fiber. Really early days of fiber. So we're gonna see if we can take what I consider to be kind of ugly and turn it into something fantastic using the Monet effect. We will see what happens. If you are interested in the recipe with the written instructions and photographs and variations on this technique, the link is down below. It's in my book Batt, which is also linked down below, as well as the supply list. I always forget to mention there is a full supply list down below. So if you want to know what this is made of, go there. Though I do have to say sometimes I have to guess because I don't know for sure exactly. But this one I have a pretty good idea. So I am about to get started with prep, and I hope you enjoy watching the process, and we will see if we can beautify this kind of funny looking bat. video, I decided to do a self-striping pattern with my Monet portion. I divided it out at first and I was like, I could do a gradient. I always do a gradient. Like, I don't know, I got stuck in a gradient rut. So I did a self-striping, and not all of the stripes are uniform size though, which I think really adds to the overall like organic feel of the stripes, because as you know, my number one public enemy is it looks like it came off of a mill. Anything. So this is an irregular self-striping yarn. So the other thing I wanted to point out is I went downstairs, and let's see if I can get that in focus. Oh, yes, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't. Myself is right there. That's why I keep making eye contact, but I can't see because I don't have my glasses on. Anyway, I went downstairs and I blended these. This is the other Batt. Ooh, the other side, but I just went ahead and blended it one more time. And I really prefer the way it looks and the texture of it, and it's stuck to my face now. So that's the update. I am going to go on and spin it, and we will see what happens. yarn from Batt. It's pretty thin compared to what I normally spin. I've been on kind of a thin spin kick. Thin spin kick. It's fun to say. Say that 5 times fast. Thin spin kick, thin spin kick, thin spin kick. Anyway, okay, so, what are my thoughts on this yarn? As I was spinning, I was lamenting the low quality of the fiber. Like I mentioned, this fiber was from my very, very beginning days of spinning, when I definitely purchased quantity over quality. This is from Meat Sheep Fleece with the base gray fiber, and there was a lot of shortcuts in there that drove me nuts. And it was more vegetable mattery than I was used to, and basically it took me back to my roots of beginning spinning and reminded me why I now advocate equally for the quality over quantity method. I haven't completely discredited the quantity over quality. I think they're equal but separate. Not in the sense of segregation, which was a myth. They was equal. But these ones, like, legitimately are. I think they're equal depending on your personality type. One will suit you better than the other. But yeah, that was my main complaint, was the shortcuts in the fiber caused me some fussing and the vegetable matter was pokey. Otherwise, I really like how it turned out. I have no complaints. I think it looks a lot better in yarn form than it did in fiber form. It's still a little bit gray drab for my taste, but I like it. I think it was successful. I'm glad to have conquered it. I feel accomplished. But mainly I just want to really emphasize how the Monet Batt prep, which again you can find the links to that recipe in my book down below. It's super talented at taking fiber that you may not be super impressed with, super, and turning it into a super duper yarn that looks super pretty. But yeah, it's got a really intense transformative power. So if you have fiber in your stash that you kind of don't like, or you kind of think is ugly, this is a really great way to rehabilitate it. So I hope you enjoyed this transformation from kind of funny looking to not bad. If you have any thoughts or comments or suggestions for future videos, please leave them below. I love reading them, and I will see you next week.